Hi, I'm David. Today I'm going to continue the second episode of this series, which is about Chinese Damas when they were young and their daily lives. Finally, only one tip. Don't miss the Easter egg in the end. The Damas born in the 1950s and the 1960s in their prime continue the glorious tradition of their fathers. Accepting the development of the government, everyone will do their utmost to build a new China, accumulate the original foundation for the development of the country, and develop industrialization. But in the same era, poverty, natural disaster, social and political activity, and accompanied by the extreme lack of the materials. It can be said that what they experienced and endured when they were young is the unimaginable difficulties of our young people now. Although young people in China always complain about the economic pressure of the 996 working hour system, as well as housing loans and car loans, think about the environment of our parents and even grandparents. They are in a real bad environment so that compare with us. They have suffered at least 2 to 3 times as much as we are now. There was no question about how hard they are. In the early days of the founding of the People's Republic of China, Chairman Mao sentences women can hold up half the sky. Women's status has improved epoch-making. They can do many jobs that could not be done before, and advocate equal pay for equal work with men. But for some special reasons, women work worse by social stereotypes, do not allow makeup, and cannot wear gorgeous clothes. In the 10 to 20 years after the reform opened up, married women have been required by society to work hard outside and be be the housewife after work. Children, husband, both parents, necessities, accompanied by their first half of their lives to achieve both internal and external excellence. Well, the requirements for clothing and appearance have not changed much except for a relatively open area. This phenomenon has continued until the end of the 20th century. Most of them don't understand computers and how to communicate with our society. Seriously, they are a group of people who are out of touch with the world. They feel so lost with the reform and opening and the rapid development of the internet in modern life. It's so strange that they don't necessarily know much about traditional China. When they were young, they simply stay at home or work. In old age, they simply exercise. They never seem to think about the essence of life independently. They think about meaningful thinking very little, not to mention interesting. For a thing, they only care it can be used or not, because they simply live in their age, and their age has been wiped out by the times. The Chinese Dama group has a relatively low level of education. They cannot deeply use media tools such as computers and mobile phones, and cannot express their words and influence. It's precise that Damas lack of the enthusiasm to participate actively. They usually have little time and opportunity to contact various media. Even occasional attention is only passively receiving information and not actively feedback or participating in it. For them, they mainly receive information from the mass media passively and unconditionally, even if the problem is exaggerated infinitely. In China, it was justified that grandparents have children babysit their grandchildren. The reason is that social development is too fast so that the child care problem has not kept up with the development of the economy. The elder generation has few habits and focuses more on family because of the historical reasons. and young people are working more and more overtime with the economic development, so that they have no time to pick up and take care of their children. Therefore, it becomes a stereotype of society that grandparents have children babysit their grandchildren. The Damas has to return to the family again and continue to bear the burden of looking after their grandchildren. In China, female cadres retire at 55 years old, and workers retire at the age of 50, at least 5 years earlier than men's retirement. It can be said that this is a special care for women by the government. At the beginning of the 21st century, a large batch of Damas retired every year. At this time, when the Chinese economy takes off, the real estate is booming. More and more families bought new modern residential buildings to replace the original small flats allocated by the working place. At this time, the work pressure of young people is also increasing, and the age of getting married and having children is getting late. And also, the retired Damas have more leisure. For more and more newly built communities in the past 10 years, more and more middle-aged and elderly women have come to the new community for various reasons without a original social relationship. Here, they will inevitably have a void because they don't know anyone but their families. So they have to do something to kill time. The square dance, the relatively low threshold and easy to participate, came into being. The Damas from all communities in a large area, dancing on squares or a wide sidewalk, playing a folk song with a strong sense of rhythm, and performing an improved dance to exercise. Of course, there is one of the most important reasons: making friends. My mother walked on the street 10 years ago and met a group of Damas who danced on the square. She felt very interesting and joined them. Since then, square dance became a part of my mother's life. From the beginning of dance until now, she's much better than before, and she also made a lot of friends. Damas are more interested in group chores when they will travel. First of all, they feel that the group fee is economical, and they don't need to do their strategy, book a hotel or check the map. More importantly, they don't want to always trouble their children. When they are on the journey, they demand to increase their free time. Must take pictures and must get Wi-Fi to post moments. Wear colorful clothes, sunglasses, and a sun hat. Holding a fluttering scarf. This is the standard pose of Chinese Damas. As for why they prefer this adornment, sunglasses and sun hats are understandable as practical tools. Why do Damas love scarves as an adornment? In the era of scarce materials, scarves are relatively easy to obtain, and it can be used as production tools and adornments at the same time. And the most important thing is that the policy permitting. Because of this, scarves become the aesthetic symbol of the Chinese elder generation, as an adornment that accompanies her from childhood to the age. Now we can understand why Damas love scarves. Many people say that Chinese Damas has no aesthetics and is not very suitable here. They wear bright clothes because when they were young, the extreme scarce of material and the rigid requirements imposed by the special social environment. Everyone can only wear simple colors such as blue and gray. The desire for beauty is severely suppressed. After retirement, China is not the same as before. They have time and money. It's open to the social environment, so they wear the colors of red, yellow, and green clothes. If they don't dress colorful now, they will never have the opportunity to do it. to seek a new platform for emotional communication. Chinese Damas sing together at karaoke parlors. Usually, several Damas get together and sing the most popular songs of their age all afternoon. In the process of urbanization, they have a communication demand. They choose to sing at karaoke parlors. They can find an emotional communication platform in the loneliness of the soul, find their history, their youth, and their vitality in the melody of the song. For decades, we have achieved economic growth from a poor and backward country, and we cannot do without the dedication of Chinese Damas. As the idiom, don't forget the well diggers when drinking from it. They are both mothers and wives, devoting their first half of their lives to family and work. For decades of hard work and frugality, we finally have today's harmony and prosperity. For the first half of their lives, they are the mainstay of Chinese society. And now they are the testimony of China's purchasing power and a classic symbol of China's economic takeoff. When the past habits become the uncivilized behavior now, what is the best way? Guidance, that is, what should be done and where should not be done. This is what our society has to do, and is what our young people have to do. To blame and repulse blindly cannot solve the problem fundamentally. Most of their habits may never be changed, but correct guidance, especially the guidance of their children. Parents have taught us how to gain a foothold in this society, and in this new era, as children, we have an obligation to guide parents' uncivilized behavior, even if there will be contradictions. They will not understand, but all change begins with our actions. I wish our Damas are in good health and will fully bloom in the rest of their lives. Ever since I left home after college, Mom has been very uncomfortable. It's easy for Chinese parents, especially mom, to put their center of their lives on their children. And even more exaggeratedly, to live for their children. The reasons for this are the lack of independence, personality for historical reasons, the lack of interest, the lack of social support measures, etc. Let go of your control and let your children fight for themselves. My mom has come to terms with this. She now goes to travel almost once or twice a year and sometimes goes out to the rural areas to travel. I have been suggesting her to read more, and in the future she wants to study photography, etc. At the end of March, Shizhou City canceled the community lockdown, which means that only those who live in the community are allowed to enter and exit, and no one else is allowed to enter and exit. And it's not mean that everyone is not allowed to leave the community. Within a few days of the canceling of the lockdown, we went home to visit our parents because we were supposed to go back for Chinese New Year's, but had to postpone it because of the COVID-19 pandemic. When we got home, they always cooking for us. The elders don't like change, so the taste of the meal is almost unchanging, which is what many Chinese children love, especially mom's cooking. These dishes may not be particularly stunning in comparison, but they are a taste that everyone is used to and an expression of love.